Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Nancy Drew Lights, Camera, Curses. So, we're kind of approaching the halfway point of the story. There's been a lot of mini games, a lot of pointless elements happening. We know that somebody is probably causing these accidents because we saw a shaved bolt, which could be a red herring and a wrong clue, but I doubt it. And then we have this weird looking memory card that we're going to this production office with, which has, by modern standards, slightly old looking technology, but by this game's standards, actually high fashion technology. There's only one thing we need to do right now is click on this and look at it.
Digital decryptor. I can use this to hack into the chip from the security camera.
So the funny thing here is there's never been chips in security cameras. Never. They are always wired, or if you're getting something that's kind of pointless, you might get a wireless security camera that it would be very easy to block or mess with the signal then if it was wireless. The other issue, of course, is even if you have a wireless camera, it's still going to need power, so you're still going to put a wire on it. So there's no point. But there's no memory. It always went to some kind of base station with a hard drive or VHS cassette on it. But they wanted another minigame, clearly. So, and I assume we're not getting any more items. If I was to continue on this Dossier series, and I'm not sure I really want to, I may just skip right to the adventure series of Nancy Drew games. I would heavily suspect that the lockpicking and the hacking, the looking, the flashlight, and the touching and are always going to be the exact same elements. Detectives do very surprisingly little hacking. One, because in the United States, without the FBI or doing the hacking, it's pretty much illegal now to circumvent any kind of security. Not that it doesn't happen, it's just it wouldn't be submittable in court. And two, it's just not. There's easier ways to get information. If in a data hacking mode, let's see if you can hack into the security chip at to view the last video. This on the side looks like a sideways HP iPad Pocket PC. Your goal is to use this little blocks to make a big solid block of data with no holes or gaps. So this is Tetris. Your active piece at the top, moving it over to an empty area and dropping it into place. Okay, so something like that. Great, you've added a block to the data filling in the gap. You need to continue dropping pieces so that they fit together snugly. Sometimes pieces will fit better if you rotate them. To rotate, right click. So it is slightly a better thing. During the game, the data will keep moving it to the left into the digital decryptor. If the machine reads a gap of data, you'll get a red X. Get too many red X's and you have to start over. But if the machine reads complete data with no holes, you'll add to the meter at the bottom and of the screen. Once you fill the meter, you beat the level. Ready to start? One last tip, start dropping pieces on the left side of the screen because the area moves into the digital devolver. Alright. So I can see that there's gonna be some issues here of just moving fast. There we go. So this really is just changing a lot of the interface in a way that makes it work a little bit better. Now if you have any overlap though, I guess you're not gonna work with that too well. Oh man, I shouldn't have put that there. Should do that and that and that and that. This music's kind of dull sounding, honestly. And we should be close to being done.
There we go. Now I can see what the security camera captured.
It's very inconsistent to have a completeness bar on the left and then a completeness bar at the bottom. So completely useless information, and inherently that is the problem with any security camera, is that if you're in an area where you won't get stopped by an actual security person or just noticed by some civilian somewhere, you could just wear a mask or something to cover your face, and using a cloak like that, you've completely covered the body type, which keeps this mystery more of a mystery, because if we had seen that they were wearing a form-fitting female bodysuit, we could eliminate all the men suspects, and if we had seen that they were wearing some kind of form-fitting male clothing and missing some of the characteristics of a female body outline, then we would assume it was a male suspect and eliminate all the females right off the top. And there aren't but really 4 suspects mentioned in this game already, so going from 4 to 2 would be too much. We only got 150 points. I don't think you really could have gotten too many points. If we run into more chapters like that, though, we may not uncover the special ending. But I don't want to waste too much time. So we're, I think, going to wardrobe. I mean, the storyline didn't really explain that. And here we can see they've decided to do something crazy and just put a unrealistic, almost jigsaw-esque puzzle over this locker. Like, man, they are going very, very video gamey here. Going to Eda's locker, it says, well, I can't. There's 0 things here. And on top of that, there's nothing to find here. Oh, there's already something to find here. So we're gonna look at this.
Security stepped up. No kidding.
Looks like I'm not the only one who wasn't impressed with Pharaoh's casting choice of Eda Brooks. As much as I suspected it wouldn't work, I'm at least willing to wait out and watch the movie before I pass judgment. Apparently someone else doesn't have that kind of patience. Eda Brooks' agent told us that Eda's on-set locker was vandalized by an unknown person. The event has prompted Eda's agent in the studio to beef up security on set. No mentions on the room and accidents was made, but I'll be keeping my ears open. And this is Lydia Lynn, and either Lydia Lynn is going to be a person who appears throughout the Nancy Drew series, or she's going to be a suspect, or she is Eda. So now I have 4 things that I can click on. Let's see, one of which is this. I want to open this, so we'll open it. And in there is a mirror. And in there is the mechanism. Here we have some cloud for the dust, which I imagine we might put that on there. See, there's like a full-on laser system for directing. So we've got to adjust the mirror out of this so we can use the mirror on this. Like, well, there is literally no way you would have been able to instantly put a mirror in the absolute correct angle so it would have worked and not set off the alarm. This whole system is designed, as ridiculous as this system is, it's designed around the idea that you wouldn't be able to cross or break the laser beams for even an instance without setting off an alarm. And unless there's some kind of remote control, there's really no key entry or anything that would have turned off the laser beams. And so that's not what we were supposed to do. Let's look at it instead. Dear Etta, if you forgot your passcode again, the dark ones will help you remember. Have a great day. Love, Etta. It's ridiculous that people would put notes to remind themselves what their password would be. And so we are removing bulbs, the dark light bulbs, and now we have outlets, but I don't see what the point of the outlets are. And it's not like the light bulbs are going into an inventory or anything, and they're not showing up anywhere on the floor. Let's see. So are we supposed to flashlight this guy? Or am I supposed to just look inside the socket? B1, blue 1. So is that, do we just use those two together? I guess we don't. Look here. Red 3. Are we supposed to go in the order of the rainbow? Green 4. And there's really no way you would have been able to click on all of these. Yellow 2. Yeah, there's no way that you would have been able to click on all of these things in a smooth action and get the combo. You would have had to click on something, click back, then click on something and click back again. Yeah, and these 4 things don't connect at all. So instead, red 3, I guess, has to go with this. Are these just buttons? You press the blue button once, you press the red button 4 times, the green button 4 times. Maybe it was red 3, yellow button 2 times. Looks okay. So blue 1 is the first one. Oh, that's not even what's going on here. It's not how many times you press the button, it's the order. Okay. This is a very awkward way to implement a code.
There we go. Now I should be able to open this locker.
Ta-da. Like, that is a very, very awkward way to do that. So Nancy Drew nearly got bit by a snake.
The snake is gone. I can check out what's in the locker.
And we had heard Etta was afraid of snakes.
What's all this? I'll need to move some of her stuff so I can inspect everything.
And this is a much more typical hidden objects game scene. A lot of junk in a small area, a chest, a locker, something like that. This, which we can, I guess we're just moving things. Let's look here.
Wow, an autographed picture of Lois Manson.
I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't have just used the real actors' names, other than maybe just you didn't want to make it more kid friendly, but like, if you're referencing old people in your story, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Ida sure is trying to get into the part.
Wow, this is kind of creepy. See, they look pretty similar. If this was Lois Manson and, like, she has some magical ability to get younger through some kind of curse. It could be the same person, or it could be backwards. It could be this is Lois Manson when she's young, and this is Lois Manson when she's old, and because of that, she's aged. We have one more thing to see. Let's see. Who is Lois Manson? Born August 12th, 1917 in Trenton, New Jersey. Died January 4th, 1937 at the age of 20. Which, okay, that's a little young to be the leading lady in a movie. Why not make it 47? Lois Manson began captivating audiences at the early age of 4 by participating in local Trenton theater productions. By the age of 16, Manson had relocated to Hollywood. She was discovered by talent agent Z.B. Collingwood in 1935 and promptly cast as Nefertiti in the classic Pharaoh, but her first and final film role. Manson perished after the blah 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 blah. Alright, wow. Manson published after being bitten by the snake on set. Much controversy still surrounds her death, and many think that she may have been murdered. Some accuse Z.B. Collingwood. Manson's mysterious death and the subsequent popularity of Pharaoh catapulted her to posthumous superstar status, making her one of the most notable names in Hollywood today. Manson's a poor name to choose there because the only Mansons I know that are popular in the real world are Marilyn Manson and Charles Manson, the serial killer. Do we look at this book or do we open this book?
Agapanthus africanus, or the lily of the Nile, is a beautiful plant with blue-violet flowers. Plant in full sun for the prettiest blooms.
Interesting, but not useful information unless it turns out that that plant is poisonous. Let's see. Miss Lois Manson, beloved daughter and dear friend, passed away January 4th, 1937. Private funeral to be held, ZBC. So I don't know why you would have announced. Go ahead, hate me because I'm beautiful, dream big. So this also feels more like one of those stories where Lois Manson either had a child at the age of 20 and then died with the director, and the child is Ida, the daughter. It depends on if they want to go the fantasy route and say Lois Manson didn't die and she's still alive and she is Ida, or Ida's the daughter. I would suspect they probably want to reveal it as Ida's the daughter. Let's move this glove. The Jewel of Karnak.
The huge Jewel of Karnak emerald was lost during the shooting of the original Pharaoh film. Could the director's clues be leading me to it? More importantly, could Ida be after it?
See, now it feels like we're getting yet another red herring. The most beautiful and powerful woman in the world once held it. Tales about curses or incredible luck follow the appearance throughout history. It's really hard to read this. It's so diagonal. What could this item be? Why is the Jewel of Karnak Nefertiti's famed emerald? The facts are difficult to distinguish, and then doesn't even go further down.
A snake just slid over my foot. Oh my gosh, somebody catch it, please. I hate snakes, I hate snakes.
Ida, it's okay. I'll catch it. I promise. Just calm down.
You can't even catch a cat.
Put it back in the reptile room. It must have escaped or something.
I will. I promise. Just calm down. What's the reptile room?
It's where
Are
the people
snakes
ate the creatures they're
reptiles?
using for the shoot. Snakes, lizards, frogs, turtles. Was
Hmm.
my locker open?
Look, I'm gonna level with you.
I'm not sure snakes
I'm not
are
really
reptiles.
a production assistant.
I'm playing a peasant in the new Pharaoh movie with work for animal control. I'm your new understudy. I'm a private detective. And see, here we're in a weird point where if we were playing a point-and-click adventure game, instead of being told to say the truth all the time and give information to suspects, which is still an insanely stupid system, we would lie and say we're an undercover journalist, because that would work with her. Ida would be like, oh, are you going to write a story about me? Let me tell you everything. But that's not what this game wants. I'm not sure what this game wants other than to waste people's times.
I'm a private detective.
A private detective? Really? Wait a minute. You opened my locker?
Yeah, and I hate to tell you this, but
The snake came from your locker.
that snake came from your locker.
Someone put a snake in my locker? Was it poisonous?
I couldn't really tell, but probably not. Do
I
have
can
any
tell you
idea
for
who might
sure
have
it's
put it
not
there?
poisonous, because
No.
snakes would be
I mean,
venomous.
yes. Whoever's been
Poisonous
watching,
are
that's
things
who it
you
was.
eat
Wherever
that
I go,
kill you.
on the set,
Venomous
in the
things are
hotel,
things that
I
eat
get the
you and
confused
kill you.
feeling that someone's staring at me. I mean, of course people stare at me because I'm young and beautiful and all that, but this feels more like someone's spying on me.
I saw this book in your locker.
It's an important safety note to mention. Don't put pieces of paper into light sockets. We opened that locker because the codes were in the light sockets. That could have easily started a fire. Easily. That's like literally insane. Even if the outlet did look like it was broken, you can't be sure about that. So we saw a book about the Jewel of Karnak. We also saw a book about a plant, but only the Jewel of Karnak is an option.
It's about the Jewel of Karnak.
See, legend has it that Nefertiti was the original owner of this ginormous emerald that became known as the Jewel of Karnak. Apparently Lois Manson heard that and refused to star in Pharaoh unless the real Jewel of Karnak was used as a prop. And people say I'm a diva. Anyway, during the shoot, the jewel suddenly went missing. Everyone suspected Lois had taken it, which she of course denied. But a couple of days later, that thing with the snake happened and she died. So the movie wrapped, they buried the set, and the Jewel of Karnak was never, ever found. Cool story, huh?
So that makes
Ooh,
it seem
I
like
know.
she
I'm
stole
supposed to meet
the
Molly
Jewel
and
of
Arthur at the
Karnak and
Casbah.
faked her
Find that snake. You promised.
own death. Again, for the chapter, we got less than we did for the conversation. And because we finished the chapter, it now stopped gatekeeping us at Gifted Gumshoe, and we skipped to Super Sleuth. And we are over half the way through on Super Sleuth. I did calculate that 100 points, 100,000 points, would have been probably enough to get to detective rank. It seems like it's going to be closer to maybe 110, 120,000 before we get to detective rank. And then it might even be somewhere as high as 150 to get to the max detective rank, if we actually need that. I'm not sure we do. So we move on to the next chapter. Walking from one place to the other.
Someone let all the reptiles out of their cages. I guess someone needs to put them back.
Again, this would not be a detective's job, nor would it be a production assistant's job. It would be the animal handler's job. You just report these things. If I was generally working at any kind of job and I saw a big mess on the floor, unless I was the janitor in charge of cleaning everything up, I would just say, hey, there's a mess over here. Is this my job to do? Or is this somebody else's job to do? I guess maybe then I'd probably not keep that job for that long, but I guess batteries go into the flashlight by default. And then We'll grab this and use it on snakes. It's kind of funny, the snakes are moving, which that is certainly not something you see in hidden object games. Any kind of action and interactivity is beyond the level of programming for most hidden object games that are created, I think, with a very simplistic and well-known hidden object game engine. So somebody spent a budget making this. This wasn't on a pre-made engine. It's certainly not something like Unreal or Unity or the Crytek engine or anything like that. Somebody from scratch programmed this, probably insanely increased the amount of budget that was spent on this. So I guess I've now put all of the reptiles back. The light has been out since Wednesday. Fix it. Any questions? I'll be on stage A. Okay. Let's grab that. That's some kind of hook element.
Nejahaje. It must be the snake on the poster I need to decode.
So the poster had a code for a scientific name for an Egyptian cobra. Interesting. That is kind of a cool thing, and I have to give props for the 99.9% of this game I haven't liked. The idea that they did put a hint there, and if I was more scientifically educated, I would have known that. I guess I could have Googled it, but I also didn't care enough. That's certainly not enough to save the game, though. Way too much. Let's see, what is this?
Okay, who's the only person I know who drinks these things?
Oh, that's a straw. So, but that proves nothing that the animal wrangler in his workplace may have had a smoothie. It's not even alcohol, so you're not even proving that he's drinking on the job because they made this game kid friendly. So that's to be expected. Man, I am everywhere. I've been over every inch of this, it feels like. And there's one more thing to click on. Maybe it would be more interesting if all hidden object games did have sections where snakes crawled around or items moved. It would certainly stop what typically happens in hidden object games, which is you can just click on the entire screen going up and down with very little penalty half the time. Sometimes there's some kind of system that stops that from being possible.
I don't think they feed the snakes tuna. Could this be for that cat?
Yeah, I'm not sure how happy a cat would be around a bunch of reptiles. More than likely, I think a cat would try to attack the reptiles and either get bit or kill them. Time for the bonus round again. The only part of this game that really gets you the big bucks. Just try to move as fast as possible. Let's see. That I'm moving kind of slow. I can feel it. It's a new day for me, and the warm-up could have been better. And certainly you don't really need to do too much in most of this game. There we go. So it's easy enough to be kind of sluggish and not have to deal with most of the game. Let's see. Alright, good. For that chapter, it's been very strange in the past 30 minutes. We did one chapter that gave us a pathetic 100, maybe 190 points. And then we did this chapter that gave us 4,200 points. And I don't know what changes the amount of points you get other than it's either random numbers picked by the creators of the game or it's some kind of time mechanism. And because at the beginning of this recording I had sat on pause for 12 hours or so, it just moved the score down to an almost minimum amount. And then I get the You're the Fastest Snake Wrangler in the West, so 5,000 bonus points there. And then 1,415 points from the mini games. And that doesn't really move us at all forward in the ranking of Super Sleuth. I would like to look at the menu, but we've already gone 30 minutes, so we'll check it out next time. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.